Hi, I'm Andy, and this is my lesson on the this keyword in Java. In this lesson, I'll review what this means when used in a constructor. Then I'll discuss what this means when passed as an actual parameter in a method. Let's get started. Let's start by looking at the course class we've been working on the past few lessons. In these two constructors, the first line of code is a call to this. When used in a constructor, the keyword this, followed by parentheses, is a call to another constructor. Since we're passing one string argument in the parentheses, this line of code calls this constructor. Here's another way the keyword this can be used in constructors. When used this way, this serves as a reference to the object being constructed. So the this in these lines of code is emphasizing that we're modifying the instance variables for the object currently under construction, not some other object that may exist in memory. The this keyword is completely optional here. If you don't specify an object reference in front of an instance variable, the current object under construction is used by default. For that reason, I personally don't bother putting this in front of my instance variables. We could also use this in our methods, like right here. In this situation, this is a reference to the object the method was invoked on. I like to think of a method as a request to an object that is carried out by the object itself. So when I see this in a method, I mentally replace it with the phrase, the object executing this method. Just like in constructors, the this keyword in methods is optional. By default, all instance variables in methods belong to the object the method was invoked on. So I typically leave off the this dot in my methods. Now let's examine one last use for the keyword this. Suppose we want to add a method to the student class called enroll in courses, which gets passed an array of course objects and enrolls the student in each course listed in that array. In the method body, we need to go through each course in the array and tell it to enroll this student. We can do that with a for each loop. In the loop body here, we need to invoke the enroll student method on the course object. But that method requires us to pass a reference to a student object, so we need to figure out what to put here in the parentheses. Remember, it's useful to think of methods as requests being carried out by the object the method was invoked on. When a student object is told to enroll in courses, that student needs to tell each course to enroll him or herself into the course. In other words, the student object carrying out this request needs to pass a reference to itself in this enroll student call. As we just learned, that's exactly what the keyword this does. Let's see this in action. Over in main, we'll put 3 courses into an array, but we won't enroll any students in them yet. We'll also create a student object called Larry. Then we'll tell Larry to enroll himself in all the courses. Lastly, we print the rosters for all the courses using a for each loop. Before running this code, let's make sure we understand exactly what happened here when we called enroll in courses on the Larry object. That caused this code in the student class to execute. Since we invoked this method on the Larry object, the this keyword right here is a reference to that Larry object. Thus, Larry ends up being enrolled in the course. To test this out, let's run the program and make sure Larry was enrolled in all 3 courses. Good, that worked. So that's how an object can pass a reference to itself to another method. And that wraps up this lesson on the this keyword in Java. I'm Andy. Thanks for watching and coding with me today.